I wanted to wait a while before commenting, but let's get into it. Essentially, Alec Baldwin accidentally shot the cinematographer on his film. He also accidentally shot the director. So what is this story really about? Well, and I'm going to say the right is much worse than the left on this, but both sides are being opportunistic. So for the left, this is about Second Amendment and gun control. It's not. And for the right, apparently, it's for the hypocrisy alleged of the Hollywood elite. Because apparently Alec himself is a gun control person, as is Jessica Alba and Olivia Wilde, and allegedly or supposedly they're hypocritical. I don't see how or why, but some people on the right think this just shows how the quote liberals or left are hypocrites. I don't see the issue. The issue here is the prop master or the people who are in charge of props messed up. Unfortunately, this has echoes of the tragedy with Brandon Lee on the set of The Crow and him getting shot there and dying. So this is just a tragedy. I don't think anyone with a brain thinks that Alec Baldwin intentionally killed this woman, but it does raise some issues in terms of not really gun control, but how props are going to be used in the future in Hollywood. I actually do think it's fine to use, quote, a real gun. Now, by a real gun in a movie set, you use a prop gun. You don't really use a real gun. But in this case, something very odd happened, so we're going to have to wait and see to more information. But at this point, I don't see any hypocrisy. I just see an unfortunate tragedy. It's an accident. And in terms of the right wing who are seizing on this, I think it's insanely hypocritical of their part, given that Dick Cheney, through war crimes, has killed hundreds of thousands of people, at least in Panama, Iraq. You go through the whole list. And then he literally shot somebody in the face. They weren't calling him to go to jail. In fact, he was hanging around Judge Scalia at the time. So, yeah, there's a lot of hypocrisy on both sides, but the right wing is a lot worse. I myself am pretty pro Second Amendment. I just don't see how this is relevant, though, because it is what it is. It's just an accident. These accidents happen. And you have to be, unfortunately, brutal that this kind of accident has happened once every 20 years. That's actually a pretty good record. I mean, in terms of real safety, more people are going to get killed by automobiles. But again, are we going to ban automobiles from movie sets? It's a little weird and illogical the way it's being framed. But still, it's a really big tragedy. I hope that there's going to be a charity and a fund for Halyna, because obviously this is devastating for her family. And it does bring up a lot of questions about how DOPs are going to work on these kinds of sets where some danger is involved, and of course how to do this in the future. But I don't see how the Second Amendment is really relevant. It's really about particular issues, how props are used in movie sets, and that should be handled through internal regulations or just through better, more intelligent working with these props, frankly. And I know everyone's saying we should feel sorry for all sides, but I got to be brutally honest. I think the director getting shot in all this, you don't like to say it, but that is a bit of karmic justice, because as a director, you are in charge of this. You have responsibility. If you're not going to double check these things, well, it's not good he got shot, but I don't feel sorry for him. So it's a tragedy all around, but the director getting shot is kind of crude justice. But really, the right wing and left wing are just babbling nonsense. But the right wing, as always, is usually a lot worse. So it is what it is. But we have to wait and see for more information. But it just feels like an unfortunate accident. Nothing more than that. It's really an issue about the props. That's what the issue really is. Alec Baldwin really is not the main problem here. It's really that the prop gun was not inspected properly. But we'll wait and see.